Hey YouTube, Zabo43 here once again. Right now I'm going to do a deck profile on a deck that's probably not going to get hit by the bear. I'll take that back. This deck isn't getting hit at all. I mean, come on, you see Jinzo on the top. You know it's not getting hit. When was the last time someone played Jinzo? It's Karakuri's. It's actually Karakuri Chimera Tech, because Chimera Tech is going... Chimera Tech's already at 3, whatever. Overload Fusion is going to 3. And even though Future Fusion didn't get like semi-limited in OCG, we never know. And even still, with 3 Overload Fusions, Chimera Tech can still be a viable deck. You just have to learn how to play it consistently and differently. Also, before I even start the video, you will see that I'm missing a Cyber Dragon in this deck. Just because I don't have any readily available. Like, they're all my Cyber Dragons except for one are out on loan. So send me Cyber Dragons if you have them. I prefer common right now because I don't really care about rarity for Cyber Dragon. Okay, 2 Jinzos. This deck hates traps because of the amount of special summoning it does. And when I show you the synchros for this deck and the fact that I want to go for a big Chimera Tech play, you'll understand why. Jinzo is extremely good in this deck because it allows me to build up my field with the Karakuri synchros, and then without like fear of, once I drop Jinzo, most people aren't gonna, either I can force a warning out of a Jinzo, as I have done in playtesting, or once Jinzo hits the field and they don't have warning, that set warning, that set oppression, none of that, I mean, who cares? What do you want to do? Like, that gets over warning, that gets over oppression. When the ban list comes and oppression is banned, I will only run 1. But for now I'm running 2. 3, Machina Gear Frame. Yes, once again, Karakuri's with Machinas. It's effective, it works. Not much to say, it's simple, it's explanatory. Search Machina Fortress. It's good synchro bait for all the Karakuri synchros since it meets all the requirements. It's just an overall good card. I mean, it's 1800 attack and a searcher upon its summon. 3 Machina Fortress. I can run 3 Machina Fortress even without Gear Frame, just off the fact that I have so many different machine type targets to dump, and then with the dump from Machina Fortress, it allows me to overload. And I mean, this deck puts machines in the grave. It churns out machines and then dumps them to the grave for synchros, which allows me to overload. So the Machina Fortress allows me for strong opening plays, and it allows me to fill up my grave for Overload Fusion. 1 Birdman. Birdman does a lot in this deck. It allows you to bounce back a card like that is special summon. Say if I special summon, say with Burrito, I use his effect to special summon, I could bounce back the monster I summon, special summon him in synchro for something else. I mean, it's a lot of different options that Birdman offers. So I am testing him out. 2 Hyper. I'm not too great on the pronunciations of their names, but Hyper's a good beat stick, and he's a level 4, which makes him a good target for Burrito with the Karakuri Watchdog. So I really like these 2 as well because, I mean, he's a solid 21 hitter, and then his 15D isn't too bad for when he switched to defense. So, I mean, they're pretty good. 2 Nishi Pachi. He's pretty good. I mainly run him because he's a 3-star tuner. He allows me to go for Bure early in the game, and he switches himself to D like most of them do. But on top of that, he's an AD changer. He's allowed to change the battle position of one monster on the field, be it face up, face down. So I could summon him and force a Raikou before it's ready to activate its effect. I mean, that's pretty good, if not great, for some people in certain situations. 2 Karik, the Ninja. It's basically a full-hand knife for Karakuri's, but much stronger, and it doesn't require defense position monsters to be destroyed. It's great for synchro summoning for Burrito, the level 8. It's great for attacking, bringing back in the synchro summoning main phase 2. It gives you a lot of synchro materials as well. It's a really good card. 2 Saizon, the Karakuri Watchdog. This is the main way that I get out Burrito, the level 8. He's pretty self-explanatory. His effect really doesn't mean much to me. It's just that he's a 4-star tuner. 2 excuse me, 2 Nanishi. I do plan on running 3. Her effect to me is just great. It allows me an additional normal summon of a Karakuri monster once per turn during my main phase, and I mean, that is awesome. I could say summon Nanishi, summon Kuik, go for Bure, special summon. And I mean, depending on what I special summon and how I play out my turn and the cards I have in my hand, that can lead from a minimum of 1 to 3 more synchros that turn. I mean, she is so good. Chances are I will be adding in a 3rd one. I just have to find room for it. 1 Card Trooper. It's a big attacker, and it sets up my grave for overload. And I mean, he's a +1 when he dies. 2 Masamu. He is the main searcher. He's an Emmer's Blade for the deck. He's very good because he's 4-star, so he goes with Watchdog for Burrito. And obviously 1 Cyber Dragon. It's supposed to be 2. Sadly, I don't have a 2nd one right now. Cyber Dragon is self-explanatory. Actually, in all my testing, I've never actually summoned the Cyber Dragon. I've always dumped it for Fortress and then overloaded later on in that game, or possibly that turn, depending on if they torrential or something like that. 1 limit removal to attack the game. Swords. I'm playtesting the swords, and I'm actually liking the way it works, because a lot of people won't waste an MST on swords. And not only that, but if this deck doesn't open up well, it can be very, very bad. But if you can hold off with swords, it's very good. And the fact that people won't waste an MST on swords allows you to set up. And while they're thinking they're setting up, if you set up correctly, you'll open, when swords goes away, you'll have more explosive combos ready. 1 enemy controller. I was testing 2. I didn't like it. So 1 enemy controller is good. Tribute. I don't really use the tribute effect. It's mainly just to hold my Karakuris down. It's a defensive card for me. I don't need the tribute effect. It's just basically a Book of Moon that doesn't flip them face down. 2 Overload Fusion. While Overload Fusion isn't the key to the deck, it is one of the several win conditions that I do have, besides synchro spamming. So, obviously I told you it's Karakuri Chimera Tech. I mean, it's self-explanatory. I don't feel like talking about that much. A Book of Moon, as for me, staple in every deck. I run 3 Cachet. It's the basic Rhoda for Karakuris, and allows to change the battle position, which means you benefit from Burrito. An Instant Fusion. When I don't have a non-tuner, and I have just too many tuners, I'll Instant Fusion, and then summon the tuner and synchro for 8, most likely. Dark Hole, Monster Born, and double MST. I'm not going to explain basic staples. And then finally, my trap lineup. I run a Torrential Tribute to stop big plays. A Solemn Judgment, once again, to stop big plays. I run 2, main deck 2 limit reverse, just off the fact that I believe I have 5 or 6 tuner targets in this deck that work with limit reverse. So I mean, it's extremely good. I mean, if I summon him, get his effect, I could bring out a non-tuner and then activate limit reverse and synchro again. And I mean, I'm not going minus, really. The worst I'm doing is breaking even, and then with the next synchro I'm going to get another summon. 1-7 tools used for my push. When I want to push and I'm out of MSTs or I'm feeling back row, I wait a turn, I set 7 tools, I'll attack, I wait for them to activate Mirror Force or something like that, activate 7 tools. I mean, it's really good, obviously. 1 bottomless, chances are there'll be another one in here, don't worry, because Karakuris don't get over, me personally, Karakuris don't get over big monsters early game. My build doesn't do that unless it opens with a Machina. That's it for the traps. For the extra deck, I'm not going to show you all basic synchro, so I'm just going to show you the archetype specific synchros. I run 3 Burrito. He's one of the draw conditions in the deck. He's the biggest hitter, obviously, and he's a special summoner. I mean, he's great, especially his combo works. So his summoning with limit reverse is extremely good for another synchro. And then Bure, It's just basic. To me, some people see him as a watered down version of Burrito, but this deck easily summons both, and both of these benefit off of each other. And on top of that, Bure is 1 star less, much easier to summon with Karakuri since they have 3-star tuners and 4-star materials. And then on top of that, he's only 200 attack points less. In this metagame, in the metagame we play, 2,500 is the limit, as I've discussed before, which is why so many people warning or solemn judgment Gores. Gore, if you drop a 2,700 Gores, people are staring at it in the face with no answer. Like, 2,500 is our limit, and until next format, when JD goes to 3, and hopefully, this is my personal hope that goes to 2, then until next format, 2,500 will stay the limit. Chimera-Tech Overdragon. Now, Chimera-Tech Overdragon, I'm running 3. Obviously, I can't summon 3, but whatever. Chimera-Tech Overdragon, like I said, is one of the win conditions within the deck outside of synchro spamming and a couple others. I mean, he's just a beat stick. I mean, his attack. I mean, I dropped a 12,000 Chimera-Tech earlier today. It was ridiculous. So, obviously, 1 attack from a Chimera-Tech that big is game. And if I have the Chimera-Tech on the field, chances are they wasted whatever they had already, which is why I felt safe. I only summon Chimera-Tech if it's safe or if it's a last condition. Yeah, I'm running Fortress Dragon too as well. Don't worry, it's not here with me, but I am running Fortress Dragon. Right now, that's the basic profile on this deck. This is version 1. Tell me what you liked about the deck, if there were things you didn't like. If you run Karakuri yourself, I'd love to hear from you. I built this deck today. I'd love to hear info from true Karakuri players, because honestly, I'll only have this deck for a couple of weeks. I switch decks like I literally switch decks every 2 weeks. But Karakuris, I respect them. I see their power. I used to not believe in them. So, like, they're really good to me now. But I don't see them going tier 1. Tier 2, if built correctly, yes, but not tier 1. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Once again, another shout out to my man, Sean Kelly. A shout out to Anthony from Armada. A shout out to Mario. He went off to college this week. And I have another shout out. I'm trying to think who it is. Oh, a shout out to Jacob, Brandon, and Jesus from Armadas as well. They really hold me down. They're really cool people. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Add me as a friend, whatever.